Good morning, everyone. It's Mr. Hingy. I hope you're well. Today, what we're going to be looking at is whole numbers. However, the main topic today is financial maths. And obviously, at your level, we are dealing with only simple interest and higher purchase. Okay, right, let's dive right in. So, guys, the magic formula that we need to always know for this topic is the simple interest formula, which is PRT over 100. So remember, P stands for the principal amount, and what that means is depending on what situation you're dealing with, it will either be the loaned amount or the borrowed amount that you borrowing from a bank or company, or it's going to be the amount that you are investing, so the amount that you are putting into a bank or a company for investment purposes. And then R stands for the interest rate. So whatever the interest rate is, your number will go there. Then T stands for the amount of time in years, please, not in months. So if you get it in months in a test question, convert it into years to put it into the formula. And it's all written over 100. So let's go get right into it, guys. My first question, you'll see here, I have done higher purchase, and I'm doing a normal simple interest question. Right, so let's first explain and talk about hire purchase. So remember, hire purchase is when you borrow money, right? And hire purchase is always calculated on simple interest. So it's when you buy an item or you buy something, and usually, like more often than not, you would make a deposit, which I'll explain just now, and then, well, depending on the situation, and then you would pay the rest of the amount back to the whoever you're borrowing it from. However, they will charge you interest on that amount. So let's read the story together. Okay, let me just go up a bit. All right, so it says, I want to buy a TV for 20,000 Rand. That must be a really nice TV. If I buy it on hire purchase, right, the requirement is to pay a deposit of 10%. Now, guys, what a deposit is, it's an amount that you pay immediately upfront as you are almost signing the papers for taking out this TV and taking the TV home. It's a small amount that you are going to pay, right? So I'll show you how to calculate what that deposit is. Then the rest of the amount I owe needs to be paid back in full at the end of 2 years. This is very important. Even in your test, I would suggest just highlighting. So deposit is 10%, needs to be paid back in 2 years, and the interest charged is 12% per annum, which means per year. And guys, they don't need to specify whether it is simple or compound interest, because hire purchase is always simple interest. And then it says, and I must pay it back in equal monthly installments. So that is actually also very important. Equal monthly installments. So let's jump right in, guys. The first question is, what is the deposit amount? So the amount that I'm going to make that immediate payment, what is that amount, the deposit amount? So it said that it was 10% of 20,000 Rand. So let's calculate that. So it's going to be 10%. Remember, of means multiply of the 20,000. So it's going to be 10 over 100 times by 20,000. You simply put this in your calculator and you get your answer of 2,000 Rand. So this is how much I will make immediately. I'm going to make this payment. That is called the deposit. And the rest I'm going to borrow or will need to be paid back. Okay. Question 2 is saying, once the deposit has been made, how much must I still pay back before any interest is added? So this is a nice way of wording the question. What you need to do is you take your full amount, right, that the TV is worth, or what your item is worth, and you minus the deposit amount. Why? Because now you have paid this amount up front, so the amount that you need to pay back without any interest added is only the 18,000 Rand. Please don't make the mistake and put your answer as, oh, this is the amount that I need to pay back in full, because this, you already made a deposit, so you can subtract that 2,000 Rand away, and we would be left with our answer of 18,000 Rand. I hope that makes sense. Question number 3, how much interest, this is important, how much is the interest that I will need to pay? So now what happens, guys? Please, 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 when you calculate interest on the amount that needs to be paid back, please do not calculate interest on the full amount of the full price of the TV, because the interest will only be charged on the amount that you still need to owe back, right? Because you already paid a deposit. So let's go and calculate that together. So we first write our formulas. Always simple interest is equal to our formula PRT of 100. Now let's simply just sorry, let me just choose a nice color. Let me just simply put in my formula. So the amount that I am borrowing essentially is the 18,000, that is P. And then my R, the interest rate, it said that it's going to be 12%. They're charging it at 12%. And then my time in years, I am borrowing it for 2 years. And then you write it over 100. And then you simply put this into your calculator and you get your answer of 4,320 Rand. Let's read question number 4. How much will I need to pay back in total? So now, guys, this answer over here was just the interest that the bank will charge me. But how much will I have to pay in full? Well, what you do is you take that interest amount and you add it to the amount that you are actually borrowing. Does that make sense? So you take your interest that the bank will charge, and you must still add the amount that you're borrowing, because they're not just going to forget about this. So you add it together and we get our total 22320. All right, and then lastly, guys, they love to ask this question. I see it so often. They will ask you, what is the monthly installments or equal monthly installments that need to be made? So what it is asking, guys, is after the 2 years, they wanted each payment to be made every single month, and they wanted it in equal amounts. So you must first work out how many months are there in 2 years. So you times it by 12, you get to 24. And then you're going to take the total amount that you needed to owe back and you divide it by the amount of months so that you can get the amount per month. Every month, this is the amount that we'll need to pay back. Okay, so let's look at simple interest, and it is so, you'll see how similar we answer the questions that was under hire purchase, the hire purchase heading. So this question goes: I borrow or loan 15,000 Rand from Capitec Bank. I'm using the money to buy a cell phone. Must be a decent cell phone, not iPhone 14 quality, but it's not bad. The bank allowed me to borrow the money on the following terms and conditions. So interest is charged at 15% simple interest per annum. I must repay the loan back after 3 years, and payment must be done in equal monthly installments. You see that question again here. So let's read the questions together. How much interest is going to be added to the amount that I loaned from the bank? So what is going to happen is, again, we just calculate the interest. Okay, so you put your formula in. It's the 15,000 Rand that is being borrowed. The R was 15%, and my time is 3 years over 100, and we get our amount. You simply put this in your calculator, and you get 6,750 Rand as my interest that they will charge. Question 2 over here, what is the total amount that is needed to be paid back after 3 years? Well, again, similarly in the previous question, you just take the interest and you add it to the amount that you're borrowing or loaning, and then that will be the total amount that you'll need to pay back, because it's the interest plus the amount that you borrowed together. That is the amount. And then lastly, guys, what will be the monthly installments? So guys, we have to work out how many months are there in 3 years. We times it by 12. So you'll take the total amount that we're borrowing divided by the total amount of months, and that will give me how much I will pay back every month. So in equal monthly installments. So my answer over here was 604,1666. Recurring, that dot means recurring. But now what happens, guys, is with money, we always round off to 2 decimal places. So I'll round this answer off to 604,17 every month. So that is how much we have to pay back every month. So with all that being said, guys, I hope this was helpful and enlightening. If there are any questions, please don't hesitate to post or ask. And then lastly, if it was helpful, please like, share, and subscribe. It does help get the content to others who are needing the same help.